the Good Vibrations Studios at the West Coast Funny Car Factory, these are the Nitro Reports for January 2020. Brought to you by Good Vibrations Motorsports, performance parts, fuel systems, supercharger, and safety equipment at dragparts.com. Aeromotive Fuel Systems, serious fuel systems for street or competition, celebrating 35 years at aeromotiveinc.com. Stith Printing and Legends of Nitro for all your screen printing, embroidery, and branding needs at stithprinting.com. Hot Probes, a racer-owned company with reliable EGT sensors for your nitro or alcohol engine at hotprobes.com. And RacePack Data Systems, with data loggers for your race car and the IQ3 Digital Dash for street or racing at racepack.com. Tonight's guests are Champion Speed Shop's Bobby McLennan, Nitro Funny Car pilot Jeff Arend about the 60th Winter Nationals, Problem Child Funny Car owner Eddie Knox, and James Mayer with the upcoming SIFCA season. Me, I'm Bruce Barker, and now with the Nitro Reports, here they are, Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne. Minus Donnie. Oh man, what?
I don't see him.
There's an empty chair there, too. So.
No, I just got a text that said that he is having his truck towed back to the house.
Oh, ouch.
So I'm hoping he's going to call in, and because we're going to do a shortened show tonight. If Donnie isn't here, you know, it's going to be a little quieter. But as you can see, Bruce has his new Nitro Report shirt on.
Oh, yes. Let me model here.
We now have them in quantity. Yeah. If you want to buy them, cool. $20, including postage. Or next month in February, when we've got Blake Bowser here in studio, we're going to have people call in, and if you call in successfully, you'll get one of these for free. So again, $20, Nitro Reports T-shirts.
That includes shipping?
Includes shipping.
Well, what about an international customer? You know, we have
international. I don't want to talk to you. Too much of a hassle.
Yeah, the phone number doesn't work all of a sudden.
Yeah. What, 800? I don't understand 800.
What's the country code?
And then also, I will have these on the United Nitro Funny Cars apparel trailer up at the Good Vibrations March meet. And that would be March 5 to 8, 50 days from today. So if you haven't gotten your stuff sorted by DJ Safety or any of the other places that we've, or Dennis Taylor or any of those people that need to sort your stuff, you better do it. It's rapidly approaching.
Man, here I was all peeing and moaning about it being dark all the time, and all of a sudden it's racing season.
It's going to be racing season before you know it. So we got Bobby McLennan on tonight to talk about what's going on at the 60th Winter Nationals in the Top Fuel department. He's coordinating the Top Fuel part. We've got Jeff Arend, who's going to talk about the Funny Car part and what he's got going on for the rest of the season. Eddie Knox, who is still putting the pieces together for his Problem Child Funny Car, and he's going to be calling in. And then James Mayer will be calling in about SIFCA. So we're going to do a shortened show tonight because Donnie isn't here. And but I was talking to Rick Akers a little bit before I drove over to the studio, and he's got that bitchin' funny car that Chris Crable drives, and he has added a partner, Ron Mears. And the car has moved to Los Angeles, and he's got some big-ass news coming of who's going to be tuning that car. And it may surprise you, but he tuned a Top Fuel dragster recently to a World Championship in the Heritage Series.
Well, okay.
I will leave it at that.
We can see that car moving.
He also has, I think, 5 engines for sale right now because the whole combination is changing. Chris Crable is still going to be driving the car, but they're changing the whole engine combination. So they will be missing the Good Vibrations March meet, and with Rick Akers' car, and it's now the Akers and Mears car. Ron Mears ran alcohol funny cars for a lot of years in the NHRA. Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. So interesting things happening. Donnie's working on a funny car that Jack Wright has loaned him, and he's hoping to have it ready for the Good Vibrations March meet. I was down at Good Vibrations on Wednesday, having Jim Mayer look at a set of Hillborn injectors that I found on for $450 on for a small block Chevy on Facebook Marketplace.
I'm so jealous.
And he says, "Yeah, these look pretty good." I took him down to Bobby Cottrell, and he goes, "How much you pay for these?"
You bastard!
So it sort of changes things around, and I think I'm going to build a little rat rod motor and get rid of it for just some of the parts I got laying around from all the years of collecting and using, and it's just, I mean, things happen I guess they all happen for a reason, right? So also some amazing news that you guys up in the Pacific Northwest will be thrilled to hear. There's a drag strip that's opening up again up there, and that's all I'm allowed to say.
You tease.
And it sounded like it was headed to not be running this year, and so I've been talking with the track operator about some things that he wants to plan. A couple of nitro shows there, including the United Nitro Funny Cars. So we're working out the dates for that. Almost got the schedule finished for United Nitro Funny Cars. We've already got the season opener in Tucson on May 8th and 9th, which should be a really fun show. So, lots of great things happening, and then we've got the Winter Nationals coming up, and we've got Bobby McLennan on the phone. Mr. McLennan,
hey there.
How are you?
We're doing great.
Good deal.
We're doing great. Yeah. So we're the opposite of Crable. We're keeping our engines and getting rid of the driver.
Hello,
that's
Adam.
Not true. That's not true.
Hello, Adam.
That is
he was a little. He was reasonably sure that he was going to be driving for you this year.
Yeah. No. That part's for sure. So we got the new hot rod ready, or getting it ready. I should say we're getting it ready. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, you I guess you were waiting for Ken Gentry, or Ken Gentry was waiting for you to show up at the shop to certify the chassis.
Yeah, well, poor Ken here. I was running late, and I called and I said I'll be right there, and then an hour and a half later I finally showed. So he gets some big brownie points for what he did for us last night. But anyhow, we got both cars certed. We're just to have the other one in the wings, but the new one got taken care of last night too. So
that's great. Well, one of the things that I think we need to do as a reward for everything that Ken does for all the fuel classes in the Heritage Series and in the UNFC is I think we all ought to get together and rent him a golf cart so he doesn't have to drive his van around and find a parking place to drop in and check a supercharger.
What a great idea!
I'll split it with you.
Yeah. No, that is great. I think. One thing with Ken, he cares.
Oh, he sure does.
At the end of the day, he really cares about every racer, about the rules, he takes it on the chin sometimes, but at the end, he's fair, and he gives it his best shot every race.
Well, and the nice thing is that we've got him as consistency through it, whether he's looking at Top Fuel or a fuel altered or a funny car, and then we use him in the United Nitro Funny Cars. So we've got that consistency, so that you can say, yeah, we did this over, at Tucson, and it'll repeat again at Bakersfield or wherever we're running. And I think that's a really important part for all of us to pay attention to a single set of rules, so we don't have people heading down different paths. And one using a large pump, one using a small pump, and it's just like, let's all deal with the same world.
That's true. This is true.
Well, you're coordinating the Top Fuel show at the 60th Winter Nationals, and I've noticed that it seems that there are a number of questions as to 3 runs Friday, 2 runs Saturday, and is this full competition? Is this Heritage Series, or what's going on?
Yeah. So it's not a Heritage race. But we are calling it the Heritage, dragsters and funny cars, which is, we're getting nostalgia out of the vocabulary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard my rant on that.
Right. So, but it did create a little bit of confusion as far as it being a race, but it's not. It's an exhibition. NHRA has, to their credit, wanted to showcase our cars, the funny cars and the dragsters, and so it's turning out for. And I'm not sure, Dar, with the funny cars on their 3 runs or 2 runs, but what we finalized the other day with the dragsters is 1 run Friday, 1 run Saturday, and the 2 quickest cars will run on Sunday.
Oh, that's great.
So we've got a little bit of a internal competition, so to speak, with but we all know it's put on a show. We're all conscious about not delaying the big show, and we're there as a guest. And to respect that, and don't put anything on the track, and don't delay the show. So it'll be fun. I mean, it'll be it's a great venue, great exposure. There is no purse. We basically got to put our own money to run the cars there, but we've got you and I have talked, but I mean, I'm in the athletic club business with Planet Fitness, and they've got 17 clubs down in the LA market. So they're helping out all of the top fuel cars with a little bit of money. So we're going to run their stickers, and so we got a little bit of something coming out of it that helps the car. So it's the first time that they've done this auto racing or drag racing wise. They've gotten in with Joey Logano, does guest appearances at some of their clubs, and they've been getting some pretty good response. So I brought them to the World Finals to show them what the Pomona venue is like, and they were pretty impressed. So just something that we can, at our level, get a little something going and see what we can do. So
now, who's going to be there?
So our 8 cars, and I didn't bring my list. So Mindy, Adam, Mike Fuller, Jim Murphy, Tyler Hilton,
really,
Rick White. Come on,
Brendan.
Brendan, is that 8?
I think
so.
I think you're close. Could you say them all again, and then we'll count them?
Yeah, great. Let's see. Yeah. So Mindy, Adam, Jim Murphy, Mike Fuller, Nealon White, Tyler Hilton, Brendan.
Dang, I think that is 8.
Come on.
That's a great show.
That's 7. Yeah.
Well, I think like as you and I have said, that one of the things you always risk when you bring heritage type cars to the big show is they end up looking like toys compared to Tony Schumacher's car or somebody else's car. So I think it's I think it's great that there's a place to show off the heritage type cars, and just so people aren't confused that my worst fear is that you run funny cars right after John Force runs, and they're going, "What the hell are these things?" There's no big flames because it's all during the day.
Yeah. And we the last time we did this was in Las Vegas last year, and it was great. I mean, they we had 4 cars there. Put on a good show. When Nitro's Nitro. When you fire it up, people stay in the stands, and it's great, and it should be fun. Plus, they are also at the end of our run on Sunday. They are parading the cars, all 8 dragsters and all 8 funny cars.
Oh, that's great.
So they're putting they're we've been noticed. Right. I mean, and I think that them putting us in these venues is great with that many people, and hopefully the weather and everything turns out great, and we'll have a good event.
And when I spoke with Glenn Cromwell and Josh Peterson a couple of months ago, they were saying that at least they were going to put you on NHRA.TV so that you would get that kind of exposure, and whether you make it onto the show on Fox Sports 1, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we all hope that happens, but there may be some feature that, certainly Louis Bloom will go over and interview Mendy, which is his, go-to girl for, for talking about the Heritage Series.
Yeah. And Cole has been working hard. We're putting together our schedule for Drag Strip Rumble. He and Whit have done a great job, and we're, just trying to hit that vein, to get that on the show. And NHRA is whether it'll get shown on one of their outlets. We're not sure which one yet, but it's pretty complicated.
But you can still run them on YouTube as you have been doing.
Yes.
Good.
Yep. And so Les Mayhew, Cole, Whit, Lewis. I mean, they're all working really hard to get this thing shown. So
My God, you had 5 cameras at Tulsa.
Yeah. No, we're
actually, you had more cameras than there were cars.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. No, it's I'll tell you that whole world, the media world, what you do, what Cole does, what getting it on TV and how many views, and holy smokes, it's a lot of work, and to get those things noticed and to get it out there is good. But that's what the sponsors want to see.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun show. I mean, I remember the 50th at Pomona, and that was like a gigantic party, and it was packed, and they had lasers and all kinds of stuff going on there, and it was a very entertaining show. It's it's one of those things that NHRA is kind of discovering that there are reasons to bring in exhibition type vehicles, because there's only so many passes that Ron Capps or any of or Tony Schumacher or Antron Brown can make, because they're all the same cars coming each round. So here you've got some different stuff, particularly front motor, because I would bet that 90% of the people that'll be there at Pomona have not seen front motor dragsters, and the competitive nature of what the show you guys put on. I'm excited to see it. Yeah, no, it'll be good. And to your mention of the 50th, we lost to Jack Harris in the final on the 50th, and just a shout out to Jack. Jack just passed away, unfortunately. But he was. Talk about an unassuming, just a great guy. Great driver, great guy, great family. It's just and that car just hauled ass from the day he had it. Right, it's incredible. So anyhow, rest in peace, Big Jack. Absolutely, great guy. Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you for calling in, Bobby. I will see you week after next, something like that. You got it. And okay. It should be a great show. And remember the old saying, the tattoo that I'm going to get is "Don't oil down the track." No comment. Thank you. There you go. Thanks a lot, Bobby. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks for everything you guys do. Take care. Right. Bye-bye. Bye. Man, so it should be a hell of a show at Pomona, and we've got Jeff Arend on the line now, and he's going to tell us the funny car situation there and a little bit of what he's doing for the rest of this year in the big show and in the Heritage Series and UNFC. So what are you doing? Not much. Talking to you. Yeah. Have you been running out at the Holly? Is the Holly School in town? No, they're back in Gainesville. So the last few weeks, I actually spent my days over at John Dunn's or Jim Dunn's shop, helping them put the new car together. So that's been kind of fun. Oh, that's great. And you also got? I saw pictures of you in. Was it in Qatar? That was last year. No, but I thought you when Dell ran his car. That was last year. That was last year. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it was fun though. You still look good. You still photograph well.
There you go.
So what's going on with funny cars, or with heritage type funny cars at the 60th Winter Nationals?
Well, the guys from NHRA were talking to me probably a few months back, and we had talked about it, about getting some guys to come out and do some exhibition runs there at the Winter Nationals. And obviously I thought it was a really cool idea, and a bunch of the people I talked to, they were basically chomping at the bit to come out there. So right now we have 10 cars that are coming out, and I tried to get guys that were in the NHRA Heritage Series, like, supported the series and UNFC. And then obviously I want to get some cars that look like the real cars. Not that the Camaro Pro Mods don't look cool, but I would like to see the more nostalgic looking cars myself, and that's what I think the people want to see.
Yeah.
So, got a good list of people. We got, Dan Horan. You have to have him there. I mean, he's one of the best running cars out there. We got Justin Taylor, in the Evil, Wicked, Mean, and Nasty car. Matt Bynum's going to be there driving the Matthews car. Ryan Kono, Danny Gerber, and Wasn't Easy. We got James Day in the Speed Sport. Matt Melendez in the Cackling Critter. Got Rodney Florner coming out with the Hot Wheels car, so that'll be cool. And Jeff Utterback's going to be there with his Paisano car. So got a bunch of cool guys coming. I got maybe one more person to stick in there, but there's a few other people that want to come out.
Man, you got two of the cars that started the class. Danny Paisanos and George Doty, and with Rodney Flournoy driving, that was I believe the first Good Guys Funny Car champion, series champion during Good Guys, I think in 2003 or 4, and it's also the first Nitro Funny Car in the 5s.
Wow!
When Larry Pettit was driving it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's great that George is still racing them. I think George is up to 7 fuel altereds now in his shop down there. They're
no kidding.
I was talking to him this week, and he said, I was talking with Robert Hite, and I said, you got any pistons laying around? And, oh yeah, we got about 100 Vinolias here. We're not going to use them because we can't get enough to run the whole season because we've switched over to CP Carrillo. And sure, you want these? Yeah, cool. So George bought 100 Vinolia pistons unused.
Nice.
As well as I think a couple pallets full of used John Force Racing Hemi heads. So if you're looking for parts,
know exactly where to go, right?
Exactly. George can fix it up for you. I mean, it's amazing what he's got down there. So, what kind of schedule is there for the funny car class at the Winter?
So they're going to be running both Friday and Saturday, one run each day between the two pro sessions. So I believe that's like around 2 and 2:30, depending how everything goes. Mm-hmm. Someone said that the top fuel cars might make a run on Sunday, but I don't think any of the funny cars guys will unless they really get excited by doing this. Maybe 2 of them want to come out for a final or something. Mm-hmm.
And then there's supposed to be a parade of the heritage cars of the Nostalgia Pro Stock and the Nitro Funny Cars in Top Fuel on Sunday, I guess, when they do their parade in the morning. Which is great. Yeah, everybody will see them then.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I mean, if you're on the internet, obviously, you see a lot of people complain that there's not any quarter-mile cars and the bodies don't look like they used to, and they don't sound the same, and the paint jobs they don't have good paint jobs. Everything's more corporate now, and I mean, this is a chance to be able to see everything there. And I hope it grows into something a little bit more, and everybody gets excited about it, and maybe they have it at a few other events. So you never know.
Well, and also it's a great preview and a great tease for the Good Vibrations March meet coming up March 5 to 8. 50 days from today.
I'm looking forward to being there.
How's Ronnie coming with the California Hustler?
I talked to him yesterday. Everything's coming along pretty well, so I ordered some parts for him, so he'd have some more good stuff on that California Hustler. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be ready for this the Winter Nationals deal, which I would have kind of liked to race there, but no big deal. It's going to be fun just kind of hanging out with everybody and watching the whole deal. But we'll be ready for the March meet, no doubt about that.
Well, plus I talked to Don last week, I think, and he said that he was just down at Alan Johnson's picking up a fresh motor for you for the year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I better pick up a few more.
Well, I think he's got 3 for you.
That's a good start, no doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, it's nice. It's nice that so many crew chiefs and so many tuners have figured out ways to not blow these things up, on every other pass. And I know that Ronnie's been doing a great job on the California Hustler. So it's very cool to see. It's like,
no doubt. I mean,
nobody can afford to blow stuff up.
Pleasure to work with.
Yeah. And you're one of the few people.
Such a good guy. And like I said, they almost never oil the track down anymore. Like our car doesn't. So I mean, it's for the most part, they get most of the stuff handled pretty well. And I think most of the cars that are running out there now have really stepped up their game the last few years.
We had 2 bodies lost in a crash at the March meet last year, and so it's like, as they say, stuff happens.
Yep. Let's hope that none of that happens anymore.
Yeah, that's too many body changes this year, and I know that things like and then at the igniter to have Crable blow the body off the car. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, there were a few good ones this year, and you had Eddie Knox's car, the problem child. They shot that body way up in the air too.
It sure did go up there, yeah. And when I saw it down on the ground, it was like, oh, they're never coming back with this body again, and they did.
They made it, yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in, Jeff. I will we'll see you at the 60th Winter Nationals at Pomona Raceway coming up, and
yeah,
hard to believe it's the 60th. You were there at the 50th, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. You'll be able to find me really easy. I'll be the guy with like a bunch of gallons of alcohol, pouring a couple of quarts of alcohol into every guy's car before they start it, just to make sure that I told them.
Back it down.
3 rules, right? Big burnout, don't oil the track, and then right. Don't oil the effing track.
Well, and you're doing a hell of a job of doing burnouts. That's one of the things that Nitro Reports will be doing a bonus for longest burnout for funny cars at the Good Vibrations March meet. So we'll be doing a cash bonus for that and a T-shirt.
Perfect.
Well, I'll just give you my address now. You can send the check.
Well, you've been pulling those awards in. It's like has there been any? Everybody says that with today's clutches and today's tires, you just can't run them the way that they used to. And I see you doing not quite half-track burnouts, but you're sure doing it.
Pretty healthy. I just wish the tires would smoke a little more because, I'm all excited when I'm in the car. And when I see a whole bunch and then I see a video of it, and I'm like, good Lord, there's barely any smoke there, even though things at like 7,000 for, 400 or 500 feet. So
well,
who knows? I'll have to come up with like some kind of an additive you put on the tires. I'll be rich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it burns out, makes a nice smoky burnout, and then comes back and actually sticks to the track.
Exactly.
Yeah, good. I want to see this. New and improved traction compound. I get Jim Black right on it. Well, thanks a lot for calling in, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me on, Dark.
All right, take care, man. Yep. Bruce, let's go to a commercial break, and then we've got Eddie Knox coming on, the problem child, the man who's made the transition off the water and into a successful Nitro Funny Car.
Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Hot Probe's exhaust gas temperature sensors, used by nitro racers and professional teams like the 2018 U.S. Nationals winner Terry McMillan in his Amelie Top Fuel Dragster. Hotprobes.com. Reliability for the winning edge. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
Hi, I'm Pete Jensen, and you're not. I'm drinking here at Cheap Chart. You should be watching the Nitro Reports tonight. Dar Arthur and all those big boys.
That's Pete Jensen, who I believe it's his birthday today. He's about 104 years old. And it's pretty great to see him still up and ambulatory. Well, we've got Eddie Knox on the phone, the problem child, and he's got some, he's been working his ass off, I understand. Eddie?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
How are you doing?
I'm fair, still need a mental checkup, but
who doesn't?
I'm getting by.
Yeah.
We're just picked up some new pipe today, and looks like we got a little bit of work ahead of us before that March meet.
I heard you've got a new funny car.
Yeah, we had about a year ago, or maybe more, put a deposit on a chassis from the Westerfields. They good friends of mine and made me a smoking deal on it, and then between blowing the body off the car and some other setbacks, we hadn't got around to finish paying for it. So today we paid the piper, nutted up, and we're going to try to put some new pipe under this girl for the March meet.
Man, that's great. Well, you were running most of the time. You were running really well last year.
Yeah, it was really good until it wasn't, just some stupid stuff. And the car's got a whole bunch of laps on it. I don't know how many runs Rupert put on it, probably 1,000. And it was an old Worsham Krager-Schucks-Kragen car, so it's been around. And I'm not much of a car guy, but we just... It was very inconsistent from run to run, what the pipe was going to do, so we felt that it was time to pull the trigger and make this happen. We had really planned and hoped to go to Pomona, and I really appreciate and respect Jeff Wren for putting that together. And then when we got down to some finite inspections, we found some cracks and some bends and some things that just, we've been patching it up all along, and it was time to just get a new chassis.
And that was the Black Plague car, right?
Yes, it was, correct. And
so he only won about 5 championships with it.
Yeah, and it had a lot of laps on it when he got it. Uh-huh. So it's still a good car. I mean, it runs great. It just different moves each lap, and I've watched enough NHRA on TV to understand that sometimes you just need new pipe.
Yeah. Well, Billy will probably fit really well in there.
Yeah, this car fits him a little better as well. I mean, he fit in the other one and fulfilled the safety requirements of clearance and such, but he was a little bit cramped in there, and so we want to give him a little more mobility, and hopefully this sucker will truck straight.
Man, that's great. Well, I know you were talking about running the UNFC schedule or parts of it this coming year, and it looks like we should have a schedule probably by Friday.
Yeah, we've been, we've kind of been a shoestring since we started. This turned out to just be a crazy ride over a few beers and bought a funny car.
All right, which one is less expensive to race, a blown fuel hydro or a nostalgia funny car?
I would say the funny car. Once you get used to it, we're hurting a lot less parts.
Yeah.
We had a weird ignition malfunction, that blew the body off of it. Tried a different mag, and it just didn't work out. So that was expensive, but ultimately not having to have, props are $6,000 a pair, and they could be good for anything from 1 to maybe 10 runs.
Whoa. Jeez.
At least with the tires, they're $1,000 a pair, and they might go 20 or plus runs.
Mm-hmm.
So that just gives you a little idea there.
And one of the things that you said too is that
105-gallon fuel pump tends to hurt shit just a little bit more than this 21-gallon one. You can hydraulic them apart with the big pump. This thing just burns pistons, But we're excited. Not a lot of other new changes. God, we were really pumped. I grew up in Southern California and probably been to 40 of those Winter Nationals, and just appreciated the opportunity to get out there and showcase the car. But chips didn't fall where they should have, so we're going to bust our ass and try to transfer parts and get this new one going, and hopefully, we're going to get in a test lap here or there. You never know. Even though it's new, doesn't just necessarily mean it's good. So
yeah, you still got to learn it.
Yeah, still got to learn it, and we're every race we're just still learning funny cars. And we've made some good laps. We've been, in the top of the pack in qualifying. We just got to figure out how to win. It's a whole different story.
Right, man. Well, you got anybody helping you down there? Or are you doing it all on your own?
Well, I get the guys come up once or twice a week when they can, but it's pretty much a one-man band around here. But they do pitch in when they can. They're all raising families and got jobs. So, unfortunately, they're situated, and I'm a racer. I'm the dumbass in the group. So I'll worry about retiring when I get to it.
Yeah, well, you could always, do something like go back to a ramp truck, and you and Billy get out there on the road, and
Yeah, that's another issue for us is we have to take 2 vehicles to get where we're going.
Oh, that's right. You've got that extra trailer, yeah.
That makes logistics a little tough. If there were a way we could just scale it down to 1 trailer and 1 driver and, pop in and out and go racing, we're working on it. It's looking like a tough season so far, but it always does. Things happen as we get going. We hope to make some UNFC races as well. We'll just see how it goes. I've got the motor fairly happy now. It finally broke 250 and ran on all 8 cylinders. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. And if it'll just keep repeating that'll keep the costs down. But, these things, they aren't pussycats. No. You got to run them pretty hard to be alongside these big dogs. So, like you said, shit happens. They break when you push them to extremes.
How after you got the body fixed, did it add a lot of weight to it, or is it?
Yeah, the car was 50, 60 pounds overweight to begin with, and now we're a little over 100 pounds overweight.
I don't know anybody that's right at weight.
Yeah, obviously there's performance in weight. We just can't get there now, and then if we can stick out this season and stay healed, maybe we could, lighten up a body or something in the future. But the thing still boogies. It ran some good numbers. It just, like I said, consistency and going rounds is our thing. And we had a hot rod at the hot rod reunion, and she got out there and carried the wheels quite a ways. And when it landed, it hooked and knocked the cone out. But that's the way it goes.
Well, Billy sure has, Billy has just really blossomed into a funny car driver. I mean, he's got a real good feel for it. And I don't know if that's from running on sand for all that time. You feel the way the car's moving before it moves. It's
yeah, he's just getting better all the time, and I have every confidence in him. I just have to give him a good car. That's you can't learn if you can't drive it. So that's been a lot, and he's been really patient with me and with us, and he doesn't piss and moan when he gets out after a tire shaker, takes a couple aspirin and jumps back in it and says, let's try it again.
Yeah, I remember times when he said, I think I have a really bad headache.
Yeah. He's like, can we not do that again?
Yeah, tire
Sorry,
shake
man.
cannot be fun in any way.
0.2 of a pound of air pressure and the thing shakes the damn tires. Funny cars aren't so funny all the time.
Yeah,
but we're not interested at just hanging out. We don't have a lot of money, but when we show up, we're there to at least try to win, and I hope everybody else is too. So it's a struggle.
Well, the number one qualifiers that you pulled off last year had surprised the hell out of a bunch of people.
Yeah, surprised the hell out of me. You find your best tune-ups by accident.
Well, I hope you wrote it down.
Yeah. But hey, we went, I don't know what we ran in 62 or 63 at the reunion, and it came back and all the parts were in it. It didn't even smoke at the other end.
Jeez.
That was shocking.
I hope you wrote that one down. Jeez.
Yeah. I misplaced the notebook. I know it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, and then you run a new chassis. Now it's going to completely change everything, right?
Oh, yeah. Poor Rick, man. His head's spinning. He's like, really? You really want to do this right now? Like, well, fortune favors the bold.
Yeah.
Let's get after it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good. I mean, it's really great to see your team, a bunch of really good people, and Rick and Billy are, just salt of the earth. And boy, if Rick doesn't keep putting up those pictures of trout that he's catching up in Idaho, man. It's just
I know. He is quite the fisherman. But it really is fun. We love this funny car thing. We love the people, the group. Everybody's been cool. And I love racing with Rick and Billy. It's just like a few buddies going out to play on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Billy's heart is in it. Rick's heart is in it. And unfortunately, I'm just stupid with it. So we're going to keep trying. We don't know how many races we're going to make. We had to get this car and pay it off, and got high hopes. Low expectations, high hopes.
Well, at least you got a sponsor for being in the Legends of Nitro funny car calendar, right?
Yeah, I heard it was Dar Hawthorne Racing Enterprises or somebody like that.
Hey, I was going to put a calendar together. This is going to be a calendar that runs from March to March. It looks like we got everybody lined up, and I'm going to start putting it together probably Friday, Saturday, something like that. See if I can get a real jump on it, because we're trying to have it done and be distributing it at the Good Vibrations March meet. We'll go March to March.
Now that we got you on board, I could use some connecting rods and a new set of hides.
Well, let me call Brian down at CP Corolla and see if he could help out with it, because I can't. But as far as I'm going to go, right, is to get you in the calendar. All right.
Right on. Well, it's pretty cool. Donnie's getting back into the funny car game as well.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was down at Good Vibrations on, what was it, Monday? And this guy comes walking up behind me.
Shop blower,
yeah,
man.
he
pretty
did.
Exciting about that.
And an air-motive pump.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see him back out there. God, if anybody was raised in this sport, it was him.
Boy, raised is it, man. From what, age 13? That's pretty, that is being raised.
Yeah, I was fortunate to know his dad before he passed, and he used to tell me the stories. He goes, well, if his grades were okay, I'd send him on the summer with Goose and let him go racing.
Amazing.
You can't do that today, because you'd probably be getting some summons for child abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back then, the parents were like, "Shit, just get out of town for a few months later."
I went across the country with Wild Bill Shrewsbury in 1964 to the U.S. Nationals, and with the Saxon Sons AFX Comet, and I was 13. And things like waking up in Shrewsbury had to go drop his ex-wife off in Mansfield, Ohio, so he left me in Terre Haute, Indiana. And at a buddy of his, Henry Garcia, who ran a Superstock Dodge, and I was sleeping in like a queen size bed and one night he brought a girl home and I was asleep and he's banging her in the bed next to me and I just
hey, this is PG rated story.
I just said bang, all right?
Oh, man.
So I opened up my eye. I go, oh man, he's doing it.
Did you take notes?
No. I tried to remain as lifeless as possible.
Oh, tell me you didn't roll over and play dead.
No, it was just like I was 13 years old. Come on.
Well, that's about the time you get your spirit going.
Well, different time. Different time.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, life's changed. We need to get some more of these kids involved in motorsports.
That's it, exactly.
Out of the basement.
Exactly.
Put down the joystick and let's get out here and do some racing.
There is life after World of Warcraft.
Tell everybody, bring your nephews, your kids, your neighbors, get them to a drag race.
Yeah, that's it. Get off your dead ass and buy a ticket.
The parents, I guess, well, my kids are involved, but somehow around my generation it started fading off. Parents got disconnected with playing with their kids. Take them dirt bike riding, take them to the river, take them some drag races.
Well, plus we just lost 19 enthusiast magazines that got us all going in the world of cars. And it's like Carcraft and Superstock Drag Illustrated. Those were the, I would race to the newsstand to pick those up because getting a subscription was usually taking a little bit longer than seeing it on the newsstand. So it was like, boy, I would go page.
Print media's dead.
Yep. It's sad.
Of the internet.
It's sad, but it also means that we can watch live streaming of a Nitro Funny Car event at Spokane or Seattle or at the Good Vibrations March Meet. It's
Yeah, I'm bummed Seattle's gone. I really like that place.
No, Seattle's there, but I'll tell you off the air later that there's some good things happening in another part of Washington.
Oh, good. Can we get some good things happening in Southern California?
Dude, I don't know about that.
I don't want to drive that far if I don't have to.
I don't know. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't know. It ain't happening.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our state will be over drag racing in no time.
Yeah, we're all gonna have to move out anyway.
I'm working on it. I am working on it.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in, Eddie. I appreciate it, and good luck this year. And I'll give you a call next day or so and tell you what's going on.
Great. Well, we appreciate the Nitro Reports and all the work you do for drag racing, and wish everybody the best of luck this year. Well,
and you guys get 3 complimentary T-shirts because you've been on Nitro Reports at least 3 times.
Oh, well, sweet. I'll take a large, please.
Okay, no problem. I got one right here for you.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Eddie Knox. And if you ever saw any of his Top Fuel Hydros run on the water, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. And Billy the Kid Morris is another one of those guys who just, is one of those, a natural funny car driver. It's really great to see. Well, now, away from Nitro, and staying in funny cars, James Mayer's on the phone to talk about what's going on at SIFCA and about the Good Vibrations March Meet coming up. James, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Good. It's just Bruce and me tonight.
All right. Fast.
I think Donnie's down the street from you. He had to get his truck towed back to his house.
No way, really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
A little while ago.
He sent me a text and was like, "Okay, he ain't coming."
Yeah, he was in and out of here a couple times. We're working on a couple of his builds there and helping him get squared away. So
yeah, technically he's building
every day.
Technically, he's building 2 funny cars.
Yeah, I know, and he's he's making some good progress, and I know he's been busy and been in and out of here almost every day this week. So
yeah, cool. Well, I bumped into him on Monday when I was there. It's like this guy walks up behind me. He's like, "What is this?" Thanks for giving me a heads up that he was behind me. Appreciate it.
Man, no problem. Anytime.
So what's going on with SIFCA? You got races coming up at Sacramento a couple of them in Samoa, in Eureka, and Redding, and Medford, and back at Sacramento. How's the car count coming?
It's coming along. We got about the same race schedule, I guess you could say, as last year. Still working on, so much going on to try to add a couple more races to the SIFCA schedule. It just, it's kind of a lot. So we are planning on running a couple other times a year. I know we're going to try to make the event in May in Tucson there.
Good.
And then, still planning on heading back east this year for the Good Vibrations Funny Car Nationals back there. So, that's always a big fun race, and take a couple cars back. And but right now, I guess all the focus has been right here on the Good Vibration March Meet. Man, we're just getting ready and prepping. And Dad's actually under my car putting some bearings in right now. We just want to have the car ready in case we want to make some test hits in the morning, and then we'll be stuck in the booth for the rest of the day. So
yeah, are you going to run both of your cars at the races, at the SIFCA races this year?
That's the plan. We'll have like a primary car and a secondary car, and we're going to try to run them both.
All right, wait. Who's driving the primary car?
Well, I guess it's up for who's in the lead, I guess.
If people don't know, Jim Mayer, who was one of the founders of SIFCA a number of years ago, and along with Virgil Hartman, right?
Yeah, Virgil was definitely one of the guys who was there. Pete Mariello, a lot of guys back in the day got it started. And Dad took over, I want to say in about 85, 86, something like that. He ran it for almost 20 years. And then he passed the torch on, and I kind of picked it up. Bunch of ashes, I guess you could say, in 2014, and we just started putting it one race at a time, putting it back together, piece by piece, and now we've got about 6 races, which to me is kind of a full schedule. Like guys back east, they only go like an hour or two to a track, or 2 hours,
right.
And over here you got to go 6 to 8, 10 hours to get to a track, and so it's a lot more travel, a lot more time away from the work, as it is now, we've already got a full plate. So,
well, good. I hope you guys can make Tucson in the second weekend of May, because I think that's going to be a good race there with UNFC. But it looks like we also have some good cars coming as well for some other nitro cars. So,
it'd be good to put a 7.0 pro group together, something, and go out there and have some fun. I know it'd be good to have Dad go out there and see if we can run into the 6s a little bit. I mean, he did it off the trailer in Fontana, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
well, is the new tempo quicker than the other one, or is that just driver?
Well, my dad wants to say it's just the driver, but I put the same damn tune-up in it, and the thing went 695 on it. What I would say 750 tune-up, and we were both kind of blown away by it. But I think the body's quite a bit lighter. When Kenny had that mold made, and they we put that thing on, it's got to be at least 100 pounds lighter. The car's a little bit longer of a wheelbase, so that helps out a little bit, and motor's farther out. So, I mean, he was leaving from a dead idle with 103 60 foot, and I got to get up on the R's a little bit to do that, and so the car hooked up, performed well, and we came back here, checked things out, and all checked out well. So, itching to get it back out there.
Man, that's great. Well, I hope you make Tucson, but you've got a really full schedule with Sacramento on April 6th and 7th, June 7th and 8th back at Sacramento, then at Samoa and Eureka on June 21, 22, Redding on August 10 and 11, and then you've got it. You are running Medford. I got to talk to you about Medford, because I've heard it's come back.
Yeah, no, they did some paving. We had some requests, I guess, last year when we were there for changes. The burnout box is quite far away from the starting line, so we just kind of moved it up for the event. But it's got a nice shutdown area. It's not too bumpy down there, but the track's really nice. Had hooked up guys. We ran with Drag Barge Blown Out Call Thunder, It's like a 675 group up there, and they had no problem hooking up and going down and making good passes. So, I think the track's coming back. They're definitely promoting it, putting a lot of money into it, and little by little, it's definitely improving. So
that's great. Well, it sure is in a nice location, but it's as I remember the last time I was up there were snakes on the top end.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I mean, I didn't see any up there, but there's a couple times that they would go up there and get some deers and snakes, and so definitely wildlife up there that they were taken care of. So when you hop out of that car, be careful.
Yeah, you need to put a diesel horn on your funny car to get them all out of the way.
That's it.
And then you get your finals September 2021 at Sacramento, so that's a very full schedule. But again, I hope you can make it to the UNFC opener at Tucson on May 8th and 9th.
Yeah, that's the plan. And then there's a little gap you see there in July.
Yeah.
That's usually when we head back east. And I know we're going to try to hit the race at Keystone there. And if there's a race before or after that we can double up, we'll try to make it worthwhile and hit 2 races while we're back there. But I think I know for sure we're taking Dad's car. We might be taking mine, or we might be taking another Sifka team, just because we might be a little short crewed to try to do 2 cars back there. So we'll see what we can do. But if you know anybody that's looking for that wants to help out, we could use an extra hand. And we're also looking for another guy to help out at Good Vibrations. We lost another employee going off to get his master's degree, which I'm happy for him, but we're going to be missed. So if you know anybody, we're in this hunt for another guy to help fill in that sales tech role, and a little bit of shipping and receiving here and there. But
another positive aspect of the Trump economy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hang the
hey
force
man, a lot of.
Good.
It's been good. I would say a lot of guys come through. They're stepping up to other bigger and better things. So just that's good. That's always been kind of a platform for us as guys come in and they work up and stay for a while, and then one more time move up to the next thing, and it's good to see. So
that's cool, man. And you couldn't work for a better company or in a better industry in the automotive aftermarket. It's amazing. It's like I spent a lot of time in the TV commercial business, and boy, I'm sure glad I left. I like it I like this part of the world a whole lot better.
Yeah, no, I love the race community, what everyone's doing out there, and it's I like how it's a tight niche, and everyone's willing to help everybody out, and everyone's got everyone's back. So it's a great great community to be in, great industry to be in, and glad to be a part of it.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot for calling in. We will see you at the Good Vibrations March meet in 50 days. Hard to believe. And
I know.
Thanks a lot for calling in.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Now, if you haven't picked up your Good Vibrations catalog, this would be the one you'd be picking up. And they got a lot of them down at the Good Vibrations down in Whittier, or call in and have them send one to you. But it's got lots and lots of parts to make your blown, injected race car or street machine run even better. Great people. Lots of good tech support down there from James and some of the other guys that are down there. And then, pardon me, also the new catalog for Aeromotive Fuel Systems, the 25th anniversary one. And there's, as I've mentioned before on the show, there's OEM replacement tanks for your muscle car. Just about every muscle car, Corvette, Chevelle, Olds 442, and most Mopars, A, B, and E bodies. Replacement tanks with the pump already in it, sending unit already in it, that retails for about $562. You can't beat that. So as well as the pump that James Mayer uses and Donnie uses, the Spur Gear pumps.
There you go.
So there's a lot of stuff that you could be taking a look at down at Good Vibrations Motorsports. So let's go to commercial, Bruce, and we're probably going to call it quits.
Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Probe's exhaust gas temperature sensors, used by nitro racers and professional teams like the 2018 U.S. Nationals winner Terry McMillan in his Amalie Top Fuel Dragster. Hotprobes.com. Reliability for the winning edge. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
I'm Walt Austin, and I'm watching the Nitro Report. Stay well, Donnie. Look forward to seeing you.
Hey, so thanks for watching, everybody. We're, Bruce and I are going to go out and have a cold one, I think.
Oh, just one?
At least some chips and, But thanks everybody for watching. Get off your dead ass and buy a ticket to a drag race. Go out to the Winter Nationals of Pomona. It's the 60th. The 50th was a great show. You'll see all the new vinyl jobs on the Top Fuel dragsters and the funny cars. It's new sponsors, cars without sponsors, cars running out of your pocket. But the Winter Nationals is always one of the best shows because it is the first of the season. It's everybody's got all fresh new blocks and fresh new blowers, and they haven't blown up their shit yet, as Eddie Knox was saying. So. The Winter Nationals, I mean, for me, going to Pomona is, going home because it's such a amazing track. And also the, going back to when we used to see guys sitting up on the telephone poles watching across the street in the cow pastures, watching what was going on the track and the cypress trees and all that stuff. So a lot of history down there, but the 60th will celebrate a lot of that. They're going to have a pretty good car corral down there with cars from the Heritage Series, and then also, hey, don't forget the Grand National Roadster Show coming up. I think it starts a week from Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's supposed to be 100 vintage drag cars down there, including some Heritage Series ones. But one of the barns will be dedicated to drag racing cars of the past. So I think there's some cackle cars, some stuff I think they're going to pull out of the museum, some things out of storage and things like that. But the Grand National Roadster Show is the best roadster show in the United States. Okay, probably except for a couple of them in Michigan. But Grand National Roadster Show got better and better every year since it moved down from Oakland. And to go see the world's most beautiful roadster in the competition for that, it'll blow you away.
Yeah.
The workmanship and that goes into those cars, the hours and days and years that go into those cars,
That's amazing.
blows you away. It's truly amazing. But celebrate our sport. We got an awful lot going on. Pomona twice. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you a good time if you go to the Grand National Roadster Show and then come back for the 60th Winter Nationals. And then don't forget, 50 days from today, it is the Good Vibrations March Meet, which you will have a bitchin' time. You will see many, many funny cars, many, many top fuelers, and the new 590 Nitro Pro Comp class, where rear motor dragsters will be running against fuel altereds and classic funny cars. So they're all rolling into one class, and that should be a hell of a show.
Man.
So again, we got a lot of drag racing coming up. The United Nitro Funny Cars season opener at Tucson Dragway on May 8th and 9th. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the West. There's a lot of stuff going on in the East. Take your time, buy a ticket to a drag race, and get off your dead ass. Please. Anyway, we'll see you next month. Blake Bowser's in studio, and we'll be talking about the Good Vibrations March Meet, and we'll be giving away a lot of T-shirts. If you want to buy one, send me a text message and to the Facebook page, and $20, and I'll send it out to you, postage paid.
Nice.
Done. We're done.
All right.
Donnie, get your truck fixed, man. We need you. I can't do this on my own. Please, Donnie.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.